Adjunct professor at Montclair State University. Dan Geltrude, good morning, Dan. So not good news that we heard yesterday. So items on the list that increased: transportation, shelter, food away from home, seeing some of the largest increases. So what do we see? What do you think the feds will do now? Are they going to go with higher interest rates because they said we may be able to actually lower them? But with this news, what do you think?
I think the Fed was far too premature making any commentary or predictions about lowering rates sometime this year. They really should have stayed neutral and said we have to see what the data says. Now, they didn't do that, and they started talking about rate cuts. So if there are going to be any, I think it's going to be later in the year. It has to be, because being between 3.5% and 4% year over year when they want to be at 2, look, they still have to cut the rate in half. So I think the best thing they can do is just take a wait-and-see approach.
Yeah, I think that's smart. It's really hard to predict things. This economy, I'm telling you, it's rough for everybody. Meantime, the DOJ is opening a formal investigation into the acquisition of U.S. steel by Japanese company Nippon. This after union leaders and lawmakers do not want to see the steel manufacturer to be owned and operated by a foreign entity. Dan, Biden has come out against the deal, but he never would say he would outright block it. And then the president hosted Japan's prime minister at the White House yesterday. They didn't talk about the deal. It wasn't on the itinerary, at least. Do you think that this deal will go through?
It's really hard to say. The optics here, Allie, are really bad. To look at this and say U.S. Steel, an iconic American company, being purchased by a foreign company now, albeit it's one of our allies, Japan, but still it looks terrible. And on top of that, everything gets looked at through a political lens. And with the election coming up this year, this is something that's going to have a potential impact, particularly with the swing states, Pennsylvania being one of them, which is where U.S. Steel is located. So, again, I'm not so sure what happens here, but politics will play a role.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Politics always plays a role, right? So another day, another Boeing blunder, as a company whistleblower, Dan, claims its 787 Dreamliner planes have structural issues, causing them to eventually break apart. So while the company has come out against to dispute this claim, it's been shown the quality of the planes have decreased. Obviously, we've seen what's going on, which is reflected in its first quarter earnings. Do you think it's time for airlines maybe to move to a different manufacturer?
I wish it could be that easy, Allie. It's not like there's a lot of manufacturers out there to say, all right, we have safety concerns with Boeing, which is a major issue. Let's see where else we could go. Even if they were able to do that, it's going to take time. So in my opinion, the focus here has to be on quality control with Boeing. We can't have windows and doors and engines falling off of airplanes. It just can't be that way.
No, I feel like every week we see a video of something happening on a plane. Dan Geltrude, always great to have you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Allie.
Of course, and keep it right here.